Good afternoon, everybody. Back here at the Emirates, the first time in the Premier League this season. It's full time. It's Arsenal 5, Leeds United 0. That was everything that we could have hoped for, we could have wished for. Obviously, it was set up wonderfully today with the announcement of Eberechi Eze as the club's latest signing. Obviously, we knew about that a few days ago when David Ornstein dropped that bomb on Twitter, or X, what you want to call it, back on, I think it was Wednesday evening. And the excitement built from there, and there was always this idea that Eze might walk out, for a first time really. We don't really see that sort of announcement at Arsenal very often. It's all done, as we know, via social media, because somebody gets hold of it in the press and all of a sudden it's out there for the world to see and know about. But on this occasion they had a really, really well set up process where there was, in our view from the press box, you've got loads of cameras right in front, and then right down the pitch there's 4 or 5 cameramen. There was this big notice up on the screen inside the Emirates saying that fans should be in their seats for 5:15 because there was a special announcement. And the club, in a weird way, they announced it before on Twitter, on social media, so the cat was already out the bag by that point, but I think everybody was kind of aware of what was going to happen. And he was welcomed with open arms by seemingly everybody. I think everyone connected with the club. I mean, not everyone, obviously there are some people who like to go against the grain and ruin it for everybody else, but most people that I've spoken to or heard from and things you see online, most of the Arsenal fan base seem to be in unity on this signing. I think it's a vibe signing. It's maybe not as practical as some may have liked, because I think that left-hand side does need an upgrade still. I think we saw a bit of that today, albeit an improvement which we'll touch on shortly. But his arrival was incredible, it was magical. As I say, 5, 6, 7 cameramen surrounding him as he walked out the tunnel. It was incredible. I've never seen anything like that, really. I mean, I can't remember the last time that a player was announced like that at the Emirates. I know they do it at other clubs, I've seen them do it at Chelsea a few times, but it was wonderful, a wonderful moment. And he got a massive round of applause. Eze's now an Arsenal player at last. Nicked him from right under Spurs' noses, which makes it that extra bit sweeter, as you can all attest to, I'm sure. So, in terms of the game itself, look, it was the first half was quite scrappy. Obviously, opened the scoring from a set piece. Set piece FC are back again in full swing. Timber nodding in from a Declan Rice, a wonderful Declan Rice in-swing corner, which opened the scoring to make it 1-0. And yeah, that was the first half really. I mean, there was a lot of probing, a lot of horseshoe, going around the horseshoe again, which was difficult from our perspective to, from a fan's viewpoint, because we saw it so much last season that we don't want to bring back those old memories and those difficulties like we often saw, because it's very, very repetitive. And then the second half, Saka doubled the advantage. Just watching it back now, actually, there's a wonderful through ball from Timber. Saka that he smashed it from his right foot across the face of goal into the top corner. Now, there was obviously a bit of a worry in the first half, which I'll go back to now, that we lost Martin Ødegaard. Looks like some sort of muscular strain. We'll see if we can find out from our test with the press conference about that. But and then we get Viktor Gyökores in the second half, after a relatively quiet and frustrating first period, gets his first competitive goal for the club. He cut in from the left-hand side, beat a couple of Leeds defenders, smashed it bottom corner with his right foot, and by then, the game was comfortable. It was outside. Leeds were never really in it anyway, but they made it difficult for us in the first half in particular. Timber then got his second in the afternoon, very scrappy from a corner. Calafiori having a whack at it. Saliba, I think, as well. There was a VAR check, which I think they were looking for a handball from Saliba before Timber knocked it in, but the goal stands, the goal stood, and that was 4-0. And really, apart from that, it was a bit of a no contest in the second half, to be honest. But I suppose another big talking point, we did lose Saka to injury in the second half. Came off with what looked like another hamstring strain. So I was halfway through recording the video, and my phone decided to fill up with storage. So having to do the rest of it from outside the ground. But yeah, overall, really, really positive day. Obviously, we had that moment. I've just come out of the press conference with Arteta, and he was buzzing about the Eze signing and Max Dowman and how his development and progression continues to defy logic, really. I mean, it's under 18's debut at 13, under 21's debut at 14, first team debut at 15. It truly is incredible. Obviously, the negatives from today, and Arteta said that the guy felt something in his shoulder when he landed on the floor during that tussle. And Saka has a hamstring problem. He felt something. So I guess we'll get a prognosis from both of those players over the next day or two, and hopefully we'll hear about that next week at his press conference. His pre-match press conference ahead of the Liverpool game. But no doubt that'll come out in the media anyway, as it always does. But you know, it's both injuries kind of overshadowed the win, the performance, which is not ideal considering that we're going into this new season with a hope of winning this title. I mean, we have to do something this season, really. I think it is time. And today we showed that we can. We got 6 points from our first 2 games, 6 out of 6, which is really promising. The performance today was so much better than last week, much more fluid, particularly that second half display when the game opened up once we got the goal. And set pieces continue to be a real valuable weapon for us, because it's, those playing against those low blocks, particularly at home when the opposition comes to frustrate and you can't quite make the breakthrough, having that weapon in your arsenal, pardon the pun, to go and make that breakthrough and open the game up is somewhat invaluable. It really, really is. And I think, people slate it and slag us off for it, but it's really, really effective and it continues to work. And we're really good at them. We're really good at them. I think we could do with some work on defending the set pieces, to be honest. But in terms of the attacking output from those, there's nobody better in the league, surely. What was that, 33 goals from set pieces since the start of the season before last? It's incredible. It's incredible. So yeah, we'll take it and we move on. But wanted to add as well that Dowman did win the penalty for the 5th goal. A few whispers of a dive. I've seen the replays. It looked a bit soft and perhaps he went down slightly easily, but what do you expect? He's going to win a penalty. He's 15 years of age on his Arsenal Premier League debut. It really is incredible. So there we go. 5-0, 6 from 6. Really promising. Liverpool away next, which I won't be at, unfortunately, but yeah, all the new boys have become really. They look like they've settled in really, really well, particularly Gyökeres. I know he struggled in that first half, but he looked really switched on, determined in that second half. He's chasing down lost causes like it was going out of fashion. So really, really promising. So yeah, 5-0. On to the next one.